When you were here before, you couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel.
Hey guys, so I have a great Gatsby look for you guys today. I love this book and I also love the cover. So I just wanted to do a look that communicates that love that I have for it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I just start sketching out the aspects of the cover, so the eyes, the lips, the cityscape, and I'm doing all of this with a NYX white pencil. Normally with a body paint I would go from the background to the foreground when I was filling in color, but with this, since this has such a painterly quality to it, I just thought that I just went about it a little bit differently. So I am going from the lightest shade to the darkest shade in this little section, and I'm starting with this. So I'm just blocking out that yellow of this super painterly cityscape. By the way guys, the paint that I'm using is from Maybelline, and this is obviously the yellow shade, so I'll have everything listed down below if you guys are curious as to what products I'm using. Now that we're done with the yellow, I'm going in with orange, and this does not need to blend, you guys. This has this whole painting kind of, or at least for the cityscape, has a very flicked in color quality to it, so I'm just kind of flicking the colors into each other. Once I get done with that orange, I'm going in with a mixture of orange and my pink paint, the dark pink. The magenta? I think it's called magenta. Now for lime green, so I'm filling in this lime green building. I believe it's a building. It looks like a building to me. Some of the stuff, I don't know what it is, but that looks like a building to me when I'm looking at the cover. And then I'm going into this little, I don't know, hut area. It looks like a hut to me. I'm sure it's not supposed to be a hut, but I'm filling it in with brown, and then I'm flicking in the darker brown paint. After we get done that, there was a bright streak of orange and white paint that I mixed together, and I did that below the yellow, and then I mixed in some the dark brown and red, and that's how I got that reddish brown quality, and then I did the dark brown and black, and that's how I got that very dark brown, and then the bottom half is just black paint. Now for that lovely blue shade on the cover, I'm just using the Maybelline dark blue paint, and I kind of fucked up with this blue. So as you guys can see, it's really patchy. I don't think I was using a lot of water. It just came out really patchy. I don't know. Sometimes body painting paint is just shitty. I don't know if it was me or if it's the quality of the paint, but I should have went on top of it with some cream paint, and I didn't, or a second layer. Instead I went in with Urban Decay's Electric Palette in the shade Chaos, and I tried to thicken up the quality of it with that, and it just didn't quite do it. So that's what it ended up looking like. It looks okay. I just wish it was just more of a solid blue instead of a patchy blue, but it's whatever. So anyway, I filled in the white of the eyes with white paint, and then I went in to the irises with yellow and white mixed together. For those inner corners, I did the light pink, white, and a tiny bit of blue, and that's how it got kind of a murky pink quality. And yeah, that's how I did those inner corners and the outer corner, and then I filled in the lips with the red paint. It's starting to come together, right? Yeah, I think so, a little bit. But anyway, I'm using some orange paint, and I am just flicking some orange into that yellow. Again, it does not need to blend. I think that kind of gives it the aesthetic if it doesn't blend, but I'm drawing some lines on whatever this is. Have no idea what it is, but it has lines. I'm literally copying what's on the cover, you guys. And then we're flicking some of that yellow into the blue to make a little bit of green, just to get that to blend a little bit more, but it doesn't blend. I just wanted to make a little bit of green between the blue and the yellow. And this is a building that is outlined in broken up light blue. It looks really cool. I actually liked painting that part a lot. And then the tear, we need the tear. So the tear is just a jaggedy white, or a white and blue line, and then a dot underneath it. And then this is, guys, I don't know. I'm literally just replicating what's on the cover. It's kind of like an outline, but flicked out and flicked in. And this is a bush, I believe. And I am just tapping the black paint, stippling it. I'm stippling the black paint onto the right corner, and then I did a little opening to the hut, or whatever that brown thing is. And I did a blue streak in the lime green building, and then we're adding dots with Vivid Bright and Vivid Fire. Yes, Vivid Fire. There's a lot of dots to this city in different colors, and it just gives it more of a city quality to it. It's just like detail that isn't really anything, but it looks like it is. So is like that reflection with the yellow. This is Vivid Halo, by the way, that I'm doing these yellow dots with. And then I'm adding a little bit of Vivid Halo like streaks to make it look like my yellow thing is brighter. And we're adding some more Vivid Halo dots all around the building and in between areas. And we're just filling up this little cityscape, you guys, so it looks more like a city. I wanted an even like lighter bright yellow light on top of those little light sections, so I used the Absolute New York liquid liner in yellow, and I just tapped that on top. And then this is the yellow paint, so I'm just doing some dots and then a little like squiggle in the middle of that blue building. That's my favorite building, I think. And then this is Vivid Halo again, and I'm adding some of that on top of each of those broken up lines on the building and a little bit to the tier. And now to my favorite part. I really like painting eyeballs, but for that blue, that light blue that I shaded with, it's the Sephora watercolor palette. I used the lightest blue shade in it. I just shaded around the eye, and then I took some black and I did like a very dark shade to where like the lid would be, like a shadow to where the lid would meet the eye, and then I tapped some of that black on there for the pupil. I didn't want like a super defined black pupil, just like sort of like a painterly black pupil. I don't know what I'm talking about, guys. But anyway, this is a Vivid Petal. I tapped this into the inner corner just to add like a little bit of a highlight into that, and then I lined the eyes because the eyes have like a very sharp kind of black definition to them. I decided I didn't want to line it with that eyeliner, so I switched to some black paint, and then I did the eyebrows. I'm not super proud of these eyebrows, you guys. I'm just saying. But I just like colored them in and then I flicked them up, and that's all I did. I could have added some more detail, guys. This is the NYX Lip of the Day liner in Cherish, and I tapped some of that on top of the black line of like the waterline, and then I took the Vivid Halo NYX liner and I just tapped some of that on top of the yellow, and I really like tap lined it because I wanted like a glowy quality to these eyes, and then I did a little bit more tapping, like a highlight with the Absolute New York liner, and then we started to shade in the eyelids with some black eyeshadow. So I used Anastasia Beverly Hills Noir, and I am just kind of lining that. There's no outline on the eyes, like eyelid outline on the eyes in the cover, but yeah, I had to add more detail, guys. And then I separated the lips with some black shadow, and I'm shading in the corners of the lips, and then I am taking that like blue shade from the Kevyn Aucoin Electro Pop palette, and I'm adding like a little bit of a shiny, you know, highlight to the middle of the eyes, and then I use the NYX foundation mixer in white, and I am adding that to the middle and just doing some taps on the inner corner. I like using this when I want like a painterly highlight, and I did that on like the lower bulge of the eye too. I wanted the lips to have a little bit of a shine to them, even though they don't have this on the cover, but I just tapped some of that foundation mixer on the lips, and then I took Vivid Petal from NYX and I tapped some of that pink on there to add a little bit more of like a detailed quality to it, and then I took the red shade from the Electro Pop palette and tapped some of that on there too, just because I just love adding detail, guys. It really is like one of my favorite parts of painting. But anyway, this is the NYX white liquid liner. I tapped some of that just to add like a even more intense highlight quality to it. I like to like layer up my highlights, and I added some of that to the eyes too, again to have that like glowy highlighted, you know, effect happening there. I said we need some white in that cityscape too, so I tapped some of that on there. There is like a black like line that I think is like the hair on the cover, so I am doing that. I'm just doing some squiggly lines. I did this with the Kat Von D liquid liner in black. I did it with the black paint at first, and it just looked a little bit too intense, so after that I went in with the black paint and I did like the pearls that are beside the girl's face. Oh, I fucking hate that blue. I really do. This is the Lip of the Day liquid liner by NYX in Kinetic, and I just did some taps on top of those pearls, and then we're starting on this mask. So I'm sketching it out with the NYX white liner first. I also glued down my eyebrows, and yeah, this is the Derma Blend pigment creator pigment draw things. I use this as a foundation, so I just put that on my face and then I blend it out with my beauty blender. Oh honey, we're gonna do the mask. So I'm using the Krylon TV paint stick. This is in 070. It's such a good white foundation, but I'm putting this in all over like the mask area. It doesn't need to be like neat or anything because we're just gonna blend it out. This is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Light. This is like my exact skin tone shade. I've been using it a lot lately because of that, but I'm just tapping this onto the skin tone part of the face, and then I'm using the Stargazer white powder, and I'm going over the white mask part with that, just to set it. Okay, then you all ready for me to get all deep on your ass? So I use that mint green shade, and I'm putting that in my crease and just like all over the lid. But I'm doing this because in the book there is a section where it says like Gatsby looks at a green light that's like shining across like the lake or whatever where like Daisy lives, and it's supposed to be like him looking at his dreams that he'll like never accomplish and shit. So I was like, I'm gonna incorporate that into my eyeballs, or the color of them. So yeah, that's like why I use that eyeshadow shade. But anyway, I used a darker green from the NYX Ultimate Brights palette, and I just like defined my lower lash line and the crease with that. And then I decided to add yellow. Why? I don't know, because I love yellow. I love yellow, you guys. But I just added some yellow tones to the mask. I wanted like a shiny eyeshadow in the middle, so I used the Renegade Moon Dust palette, and I used Light Year from it, and I just put that like kind of all over the eyeball. It's such a pretty shadow. And I just pat it on with my finger. Now for a cat eye, because you bitch always needs to wear a cat eye, so I, you know, I'm just doing my stereotypical cat eye, filling it in with my Makeup Forever ink liner. Now this is the Kat Von D Alchemist palette. I am using Green Emerald, and I'm putting that on my cheekbones and also down the bridge of my nose, because I thought my mask needed a highlight. I needed a highlight because I always need a highlight. And then we're using that like dark yellow from the NYX Ultimate Brights palette, and I'm starting to shade in my nose. And I also did like a little bit in the contours of my cheekbones, because I'm gonna be using a bright ass yellow wig in this look. Oh, also below my chin, or on my chin. I'm using a bright ass yellow wig, and it's like my favorite thing ever, so I wanted to incorporate some. That's why I used the yellow on the mask. Anyway, I wanted to incorporate some of that yellow to match that lovely wig. We're contouring with Baby Don't Go from MAC, and I'm putting this in all the places you contour, which is my cheekbones and underneath my nose. And then this is Natural Beauty from Tarte, which is one of my favorite blushes ever, but I'm just putting this like all over my face, cheeks, nose, all over the place. It's so pretty. Going back to the eyes, I'm taking Noir from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm going to like where that liner is, and I'm just bringing a like black eyeshadow line into like towards my inner corner, just doing a kind of like cut crease design, and then I'm going in with that like dark green shade from the Electro Pop palette, and I'm putting that like on top of the black to kind of transition it and just like fade it into my brow bone. I wanted the black of my cat eye to be like a little bit smudged out, you know, so I used some of the black from the Electric Pop palette to do that, and then I started to sketch in the mask, and I'm using the NYX white liner to do that. Now we're going to start to just do some details on that lace. So I'm doing this with the Mayron white paint, and I'm just looking at lace and kind of like, I don't know guys, I'm just winging it. I'm just, like, I feel like that's what I'm doing for most of my looks that I ever do, that are like this creatively. I mostly like, there's not a whole lot of planning into them, but yeah, so I'm just like looking at lace and kind of imitating different aspects that I see in the lace, so like the frilliness of it and the shapes. And then I also went in and did some lines on top of those. Oh, I also did this like line thing coming down. I love like masks that have, I don't know, I always love like doing like lines, and then I'm gonna put pearls on them. So but anyway, I'm putting some lines in between these like circles and in the little like U things, and it's just like added detail, just kind of filling in the space. Now you know your girl loves some highlights, so I'm taking the NYX white liquid liner and I'm just adding some little highlights to that lace. I don't think lace has highlights, but I like highlights, so that's what I'm doing. Now for pearls, I love pearls. I love pearls. We're adding pearls all over the place, but before I add pearls all over the place, I felt the need to do some of that mint green NYX mascara just underneath my eyes and above my eyes. Just, you know, to make it not look so fancy. I also took some of Vivid Envy and I tapped some of that on top of the mint green. Just for more details, guys. Anyway, before we got into the pearls, though, we did some white dots with the NYX white liquid liner. I'm just doing this like all over like the outer portion of the mask. And then now for pearls, I put pearls like all over the place. I'm using 3 different types of pearls. I'm using like a nude color, a white color, and big pearls, medium pearls, little pearls, all sorts of pearls. So I says to myself, you know what this mask needs? Sparkles. So I went in with the NYX silver liner, crystal liner I think, and I just put that like all over the mask. And then I also went in with Distortion, the heavy metal liner from Urban Decay, and I put some of that in the middle of my eye and on the green and just kind of all over the place because it's so pretty. This is a green NYX liner. I just put that on my waterline. I wanted my highlight to be a little bit more bam in your face, so I took Mary Jane from Chaos Makeup and I put that on my upper lip and my nose. And this is Witches from Kat Von D. I knew I wanted like a black lip, so I put this on my lips, and then I wanted like a green highlight to it, so I took Mary Jane again and I put that like on the middle of my upper and my lower lip. I wanted more of like a 3D quality to this mask, so I took the IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette and I took All Heart from it, and I just put that on all the places that the mask would like lay on my face, just to make it look a little bit more 3D. I also popped on some lashes and some lower lashes, and once I did that, I took the Electric Pop palette and I took the black and I just put that right underneath my chin so that the black would like fade into the dark blue. And kind of like just seriously contour that double chin I have. So that's the finished look, you guys. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys like Great Gatsby, let me know down below. Like this video if you like this video. Subscribe, it makes me happy. Hit that little bell so you're notified when I make videos. And I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Bye!